Most people think their life is broken, so they try to fix it. They download another productivity app. They buy a new notebook. They start a new routine, wake up earlier, exercise more, study harder, eat better. For a few days, it works. You feel organized. You feel hopeful. You feel like you're finally becoming the person you wanted to be. And then slowly, it fades. The alarm gets snoozed, the notebook stays empty, the routine disappears. And you sit there wondering what's wrong with you. Maybe you think you're lazy. Maybe you think you just lack discipline. But the real problem is quieter than that. You keep trying to fix your life without changing the person who lives it. Your brain doesn't follow goals. It follows identity. The story you quietly believe about who you are. If deep down you believe you're someone who procrastinates, someone who struggles with discipline, someone who always starts things but never finishes them, your brain will slowly guide you back to that pattern. Not because you're weak, because your mind wants your actions and your identity to match. That's why so many people get stuck in endless self-improvement. New routines, new productivity systems, new habits. But inside, the identity stays the same. I'm someone who struggles. I'm someone who lacks discipline. I'm someone who can't stay consistent. When that belief stays in place, every system you build eventually collapses. Because systems sit on top of identity, and identity always wins. Always wins. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different. You'll wake up early. You'll study. You'll finally get serious. But when morning comes, your brain starts negotiating. 5 more minutes. Just one more scroll. You're not even fully awake, but the identity is already in control. Your brain is protecting the familiar version of you because identity resists sudden change. And this is also why people get addicted to self-improvement content. Not because they're lazy, because watching improvement feels like progress. You feel inspired. You imagine a better version of yourself. But real change feels uncomfortable. It feels slow, almost invisible at first. And that's where most people quit. They try to replace their entire identity in 1 week. Wake up at 5. Perfect routine, maximum productivity. But the brain rejects identities that feel unrealistic. It feels fake, so it quietly pulls you back to what feels familiar. The old habits, the old patterns, the old version of you. So if trying to fix your life doesn't work, what does? Something much smaller. Instead of trying to change everything, start with identity. Something much smaller. Instead of trying to change everything, start with identity. Just a slightly different one. Instead of saying, I need to become disciplined, try something quieter. I'm someone who keeps small promises to myself. Not big promises, small ones. If you say you'll read for 10 minutes, you read for 10 minutes. If you say you'll work for 15 minutes, you work for 15 minutes. Nothing impressive, nothing dramatic, just quiet follow-through. Because identity grows through evidence. Your brain doesn't change beliefs because you want it to. It changes beliefs when it sees proof. Small proof. Repeated many times. You work for 15 minutes even when you don't feel like it. Your brain notices. You kept your word today. That becomes a tiny piece of evidence. Tomorrow you do it again. Another piece of evidence. Slowly, your brain starts forming a new belief. Maybe I am someone who follows through. Not perfectly, but more often than before. And once that belief begins to form, real change feels boring. Behavior starts to change naturally. Discipline stops feeling like punishment. It starts feeling normal. This is the part nobody talks about. It doesn't feel like a big breakthrough. It feels like small moments. Closing your phone earlier than usual. Working for 20 minutes when you plan to avoid it. Going for a short walk instead of sitting all day. Tiny actions, but every one of those actions, you are becoming someone slightly different day by day. And this removes one of the biggest traps in self-improvement. The idea that you must feel ready before you act. You don't. They just built an identity where action feels normal. They don't ask, do I feel motivated? They ask something simpler. What would the person I want to become do right now? That question changes everything, because now the focus isn't fixing your life, the focus is becoming someone who behaves differently, and identity changes through repetition. Not pressure, not motivation, repetition. So stop trying to fix your entire life. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You just need small pieces of evidence, one decision at a time. Tonight, try something simple. Do one thing your future self would respect. Not something big, just something real. Maybe you study for 10 minutes. Maybe you prepare tomorrow instead of avoiding it. Maybe you close your phone a little earlier. One small promise. Then keep it, because that's how identity begins to change. And once identity changes, your life slowly follows.